Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is sponsored by Nice and Easy, and I'm going to be showing you how to create this super simple ombre root effect using the Nice and Easy Color Enhancer dye. It has no ammonia, no peroxide, so if you do want to see how I create this ombre root look, please keep watching. So I'm going to be using this shade, which is shade number 75 on my hair. Don't worry, it's not permanent. I'm still keeping the blonde. This just lasts for around 6 to 8 washes, so it's really good if you just want to experiment with different colors. I am incredibly safe when it comes to dyeing my hair, so I'm gonna keep it quite simple today, and I'm actually just gonna be dyeing the roots and giving it a slightly warmer ombre effect. Okay, so my hair is completely clean. I washed it yesterday. I don't have any products in it or anything like that. First of all, I'm just gonna comb through a lot of my hair. I'm not going to focus too much on the ends just because I am only focusing the product on my roots. So I'm just combing through all of this just to make sure there's no knots, so I'm not going to get any patchiness or anything like that. My parting tends to go slightly on the side, so I am going to try and force its way into the center. And I'm just going to pop that behind my ears as well, just to keep it all in place, because like I said, my hair does want to go this way a little bit, so I'm just going to try and secure it in place there for a moment. So from what I can see, this develops in around 20 to 30 minutes, depending on your hair. This is my natural hair color, so it should take the color quite well. And obviously, because it's on my scalp, that's generally where a lot of heat comes from. So normally the scalp tends to dye a lot quicker. So one quick tip, if you are doing all over your hair, start on the ends and then go to the scalp, because that part can develop a lot quicker. Inside the box, you of course get the instructions. Definitely recommend reading those, and you also get some gloves attached to those instructions as well. You also get the colorant itself. Like I said, I have mine in the shade 75, and then you also get a little conditioner sachet as well. Ooh, it also comes with like a head wrap, I think. I have never used one of these before, so this could be interesting. I'm done. So before I actually go into dyeing my hair, I'm actually going to be putting a little bit of just my everyday moisturizer just around my hairline. That's just so you don't end up with any mishaps. So I'm just going to put that around here. You don't need to put too much. It's kind of just so the dye won't take there as much. And then it says to give the product itself a good old shake. So excuse me for a moment. I'm just going to shake this around. I'm also just going to put a towel around myself so I don't get it absolutely everywhere. And then I'm just twisting the bottle here. I'm just going to test that the color is indeed coming out. Yes, it is. You can see it there. And first of all, I'm actually just going to go straight down my parting. So I'm just going to pop that bit in there. And we're going to go straight down the parting and we'll blend that out. So you don't need to squeeze too much. I'm just going to blend that in with my fingers. But this part is quite easy if you are just doing an ombre root, because obviously you don't need to be too precise. And then I'm going to take a comb and I'm just gonna brush out the sides of my hair just so it sits quite straight. And now what I'm actually going to do is take some more of that dye and put it in a line from where we finished off. So just about there. And I'm going to very lightly, not properly comb through, but just slightly comb that through. And then as you get lower down, you can distribute the product a little bit more. Okay, so that side is done for the time being. I'm now going to do the exact same to the other side of my hair. And I'm now going to pull up this section of hair that we put dye through. And I'm going to flip it over this side, just so we can get the underside of the roots as well. And again, just brush that down. And then the exact same as before. You probably don't need as much product this time because a lot of it has seeped through. But just put a line of product and just kind of brush it through. I find a good motion for this is you kind of brush it through that way and then turn it so you can just take it out of the hair before you get to the blonder parts. They obviously do a lot of different shades as well, so you should be able to find something to suit your hair colour. So in between each section, I'm making sure that I wipe off my gloves and also my comb, because obviously we don't really want to touch any of the blonde around here, so I don't want to get any of the dye kind of around this area of my hair, so it's important to just wipe off the comb and also your gloves. So now I'm just going back to the centre parting that we had before, and I'm just going to go over and check all of the areas that we've done to make sure we've covered everything. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but I feel like I could make that look a little bit better. So I'm now not going to take some and put it straight onto my hair. I'm going to take some and put a little bit into my gloves. I'm just going to take that section first and put it over the top like that, just to get rid of the majority of like the chunkiness almost. And again, I'm just going to brush that through. So again, I've just brushed everything behind my ears just to keep everything in place. And I'm now going to go in with just a wet wipe and just get rid of anything that happens to be around my head. Okay guys, so I'm now going to put this little contraption on my head. Normally you can just pile all of your hair up if you are doing like the majority of your hair, but I'm just going to put it on as it is. Feel free to screenshot me looking this good. This will just help to keep the heat into your head and just make the dye process a little bit quicker. So I'm now just going to put a timer on my phone for around 20 minutes. We'll see how the dye has processed in that time and then we can wash it out. Okay, so it has been around 20 minutes, my alarm has just gone off, and I think it's all taken pretty well. As you can see, there was that patch here that we covered up, and yeah, I think it's all taken quite well. Still looks quite natural with the gradient, and yeah, I think it's about time to rinse it all out. So I'll be back with you guys in a second. We're friends, but I'm not going to take you into the shower with me, and we'll see what the colour looks like. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. As you can see, we've just taken down the roots a little bit and it's slightly warmed things up a bit. Not a crazy change, but I do think it looks really nice, and I really like the gradient as well. Hopefully you can see all of that, but it has just done like a nice gradient, so there's nothing choppy or any streaks or anything like that. I have of course dried and straightened my hair. All I've done is added an oil to my hair as well, just to make it look super sleek. But what I've done is I've really smoothed everything down, and all I'm going to do now is just take another bit of oil. You can use just any kind of balm or whatever. Coconut oil will work really well. I'm going to take a little bit in between my hands, warm it up, and I'm actually just going to take down some of these little flyaway hairs that I have, just to make it look even more perfect. So I'm just going to stick that down. You could also use hairspray, pretty much anything, just to get the flyaway hairs down. And I'm also just going to work some of that around the front and just around any baby hairs, just to smooth those out of the way. And then you can just see it looks super, super glossy where we've straightened it, we've added the dye. So it hasn't made our hair look dry or anything like that. It's just a really, really glossy finish. Okay guys, so this is the finished hair look. As you can see, it was super, super simple. Some would say nice and easy. Do you see what I did there? I am really obsessed with how this turned out. I think it looks so, so natural, and obviously it was really, really easy to do. If you guys do want more hair tutorials from me, then do just let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you again to Nice and Easy for sponsoring this video, and of course, if you did enjoy it, please do give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you do want to see more of me. I post 3 times a week on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays, but apart from that, that's it from me. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!